Good morning, this is ATN Blowout. Blowout is a syndicated live program of the network featuring chit-chatting and conversation on special interest topics, news, events and stories through correspondence reports, expert opinion and stakeholders analysis. Today we'll be looking at these stories. Kwara State, bandits attacked community for 10 hours, village head. Lagos State, policemen extort 100,000 naira, threatens shooting before acts. Security, military gives update on Nigeria-US cooperation. And in business, naira for crude, Dangote refinery imports 65% of products, and this is coming from CEO Bird. Dangote refinery, Ghana commits to importing fuel. Kwara massacre, UN condemns killings, Turkey pledges supports. We are open for advert placements, bookings and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok at Atlantic TV Network 1 and on X at Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We're going for a short commercial break. When I return, I will introduce my guests for today. Welcome back. In the studio with me this morning is none other than Comrade Prince Agbovu. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, Nigerians.
And I also have Mr. Samuel Woji in the studio with me. Good morning, Sami.
Good morning, Tony. Good morning, everyone.
How do you do?
I'm fine.
Okay, let's get right into it because it seems these gentlemen are ready for discussion. President Bola Tinubu on Thursday held an emergency security meeting with the Kwara State Governor, Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, as national and international outrage mounted over the massacre of residents in Kiyama local government area of the state. The meeting came as the United Nations and Turkey condemned the killings. Northern senators demanded a sweeping security overhaul, and the Inspector General of Police ordered the deployment of tactical teams to the affected communities. The deadly attack, which claimed at least 75 lives according to government figures, has triggered renewed calls for mass recruitment of security personnel, expansion of armories and intelligence capacity, as well as stronger federal intervention, with lawmakers warning that Nigeria's worsening insecurity, particularly in rural communities, now poses a grave threat to national stability. Also, the Northern Senators Forum called on the federal government to urgently recruit more security personnel and strengthen operational capacity to curb the rising wave of violent attacks across several states. Samuel, I think I want to start with you on this one. I mean, in what seems to be one of the deadliest assault or attack in recent history, according to government figures, 75 lives lost, but according to the Red Cross and international bodies and even the community members, over 160 lives were lost. As of yesterday, 13 more were buried. Earlier on Tuesday or Wednesday, they had to bury 75 people. So which means that it's still counting, the death toll is still counting as more bodies are being recovered. Now my question is this: for how long should Nigeria wait or continue to wait for international outrage before we do the needful? We've seen a series of attacks in the northern states of Nigeria, especially in the rural communities. One of the things that our security personnel will be proactive, knowing fully well that these vulnerable communities are the targets of these terrorists. The village head, according to the village head, it took the army personnel 10 hours to get there because the atrocity was carried out for 10 hours. And in that 10 hours, by the time the security got there, they were already gone. For how long should the people suffer these atrocities? Some more.
Okay, Tonya, you know, the thing about life is that things does not always, happen the way we speculate them to be. The issue of insecurity is terrible. It's terrible, and with each death that happens, by the day as a result of these attacks. It breaks my heart. It really does. And when you look at these issues have been. It seems as if each administration that comes in inherits the problem. Started from the Obasanjo regime. I think that was when around 2006 or 2000 Boko Haram came into play. Extended to Goodluck. Even Buhari had suffered, the same fate, and now it has gotten to Asiwaju. And it's funny how these things always come into play every close to the electionary period. It's quite funny. In the early stages of someone's administration, we hear little of the attacks and all that. But when it gets close to the elections, especially when the person is up for re-election, you see the pressure of killings, come, and it's monumental. It's sad, really. It's sad. As to the issue about the non-reactiveness of our security personnel, one of the things I'm surprised at is, when people say that the Nigerian military or the Nigerian security operatives are not functional, because these are the same people during the Ecomac saga that helped restore peace in places like Sierra Leone, helped secure the peace in Liberia. In fact, when the African regional organizations, the Nigerian army forms the bulk, of the African force. Be it ECOMOG, be it AU. The Nigerians, in fact, when they say that Africa has a standing force, the bulk of it is made up of Nigeria. So, if the military is so effective outside, what's hindering their effectiveness inside? You understand me? So these are the questions I keep asking myself, and one of the things that I think that we should prioritize, like I said, is indigenous security management systems. I mean, the village had complained of 10 hours. It took the security personnel 10 hours to come to the village.
No, the atrocity persisted for 10 hours.
Before the security
yes.
So it took them 10 hours.
10 hours to get there.
But if there was a standing system on ground, right, I feel that the attacks would have been repelled, or they would have held them long enough for the security operatives to get there. And so that's why I think that there needs to be an urgent amendment to our security policies. There needs to be an urgent amendment to our security policies. We need to start looking inwards. Why the idea of national security and national cohesion is good, but it seems like it's not really as effective as one would have hoped. So we need to prioritize indigenous security management system. We need to prioritize local security architecture in order so we can be able to provide security for those of them in the rural areas, because it seems like that's where the attacks comes in more.
Yeah, they are being targeted.
Yes, so we need to look at that. We also need to look at our borders. Our borders are porous. I listened to the Minister of Defense, current Minister of Defense, some time ago, and I think it was being interviewed, and he said something. I've forgotten the country he used in this analogy, but he explained that these issues were persistent in that country, and what they did was they fenced their borders. And when they fenced their borders, the issues reduced drastically. They still have insecurity issues. There's no country in the world that is free from insecurity. But then again, we should be able to look at the best for our people.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard time Nigeria considers the fact that we allow an easy flow, of people from other parts of the continent, coming to our country and wreak havoc. Because if you look at it critically, you find out that most of the persons that commit these atrocities are not really Nigerians themselves. They're passing through the wreak havoc and they leave. That's why it's so easy for them to do all these things.
Yeah.
So this is my take on it, and I think that indigenous security management systems, local security management systems should be prioritized in collaboration with foreign partners. We have a deal with the United States of America, of course, in a deal with Turkey. The Union are showing concern. We should be able to utilize, these assistance that are coming in to provide the best for our people, which is the protection of lives and properties.
All right. Mr. Agbovu, I'm going to take note of something Samuel said in his assertion. He did mention that, unfortunately, yes, we do have security problems in Nigeria, but whenever elections are near, it seems to become an all-high. Okay, would you say that some political parties or some political individuals are using these bandits, these terrorists, to further their political agenda just to be able to frustrate a government that they do not like out of power? I mean, in the case of the former president, Jonathan, we saw it. They literally used the Boko Haram situation to force him out of the office. And due to the love for his people, he had to relent and then let go. But other former presidents were more sincere, were more, what's the word for it? Had their feet planted to the ground. They refused to be intimidated. They did what they needed to do for the people. But in this case, why is it that the political figures play with the lives and properties of its people? Are the people so dispensable that when it comes to elections, they do not care the number of people or the number of lives being lost just to further their political agendas?
Like I said before, the primary responsibility of every government is to protect lives and property. Immediately you are unable to protect lives and property, you have failed as a government in power. We don't care how you do it. We don't care how you did it. All we want is results. Reason be that during your campaign, every governor, including Mr. President, came up with his blueprint. They told us that we are moving from one state to another. In case of the governors, they were going from one local government to another, telling us how they have even gone to foreign country, how they have mastered how to govern us, how they will protect lives and property. I don't know if you remember. Every campaign period, you see them, like 2027, you see them again. They will come back to tell us, this is how we are going to do this. This is how, and it's very sweet. We vote you in, and all we hear virtually every week is killing, 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 killing. Like, to me, you have failed as a government. You have failed. If not for the constitution hinders us. It's not going to be an easy run. The best thing is to recall you and have another government in power. I mean, if the constitution will even be tailored in such a way that within 1 year you are unable to deliver, we throw you out and have a government in power. Because you have failed.
But do you think that, I mean, the reason why we have 4 years is because we believe that whoever is in power needs adequate time to implement their promises, their campaign promises to the people. I mean, if we do not give them enough time to implement their policies, does that not defeat the purpose?
4 years is not 4 days. 4 years is not also 4 weeks. It's not also 4 months. See, that's why I'm going this part. Before you pick your form to contest for an election, you must have known that this is the current security challenges. This is the challenges on the food aspect. This is the challenges for this is the challenges. And they know, they took note of it and they told us. It's just like applying for a job. You must have all the papers. Some offices will even require you having some working experience. You must told us. Some will tell us we are in assemblies, we are in Senate, we are in this, and so we know all these things and we will have it fixed in the next 1 year. They told us. So you come into power, you have no excuse. You have no reason not to protect the lives and property of the people. Yes, I accept the fact that politics is playing out. Because during electionary period, this whole thing goes on a very high. Fine, it is politics. Your opponent will want to sponsor. Of course, they want to get you out of power so that they can also come into power. So the opponent will sponsor these people, but it's not what you should tell us. The only thing we want to see is results. The army are overstretched. The police are overstretched. How do we work it out? Like I told you before, we have these informations about community policing, almost every year. How do we implement it? Sit down on a round table as a governor, call your people, sit with them, and define how to go about it. What we want is, in fact, I can't even imagine it. I can't wrap my head around it. That every day you wake up in Nigeria, if you did not hear they have killed in Kwara, you will hear they have killed in Benue. If you did not hear they have killed in Kanu, you will hear that they have killed in Sokoto. Every day in a country like this. Yes, I agree that insecurity are all over, but our own is just becoming highly unbearable. Every day. And you have people in power, we are paying them with our taxpayers' money, and no result to show for. People are dying in their numbers, people who you are supposed to be protecting. And governor will not resign and say, no, my opponent is killing me, they are using these people against me, I cannot withstand it again, let me go. So that the other person who can withstand it for us will come in. That's what we need. If you can't do it, take a bar. Okay. Forget the excuses about who is sponsoring and who is not sponsoring. If you cannot manage, take a bar. Okay. Let us bring in another person who can do this for us. Me, I'm tired of hearing the excuses.
Okay.
They meet for 10 hours, they meet for 20 hours, they condole with the family, nothing to show for it. As you finish condoling with the family, in the next 1 week or 4 days, you hear it has happened in another place again. You come back, you enter a meeting with security chief, the next 2 weeks, if they have killed 20 previously, the next thing you hear is that they have killed 100. I mean, we are tired of it.
Okay.
If you are not tired, I am tired.
I am tired as well. Let's move on quickly to the next story. Head of Waro community in Kwara State, Umar Bayo Salihu, has said that armed bandits operated for about 10 hours in the area before security operatives arrived, leading to dozens of deaths and destructions of several villages. Salihu, who spoke to newsmen on Thursday, said the attackers began their operation around 5 p.m., but soldiers only arrived around 3 a.m. the following day. Salihu also added that there was no air indication during the attack. According to him, the community had been left exposed after soldiers previously stationed there were withdrawn following an earlier attack on the base. Diversion, distraction. I mean, we've seen it times and times again in tactics when it comes to fighting war. In the olden days and even now, you distract your opponents and then you attack the other way. From what we've read so far, it seems that some soldiers that were positioned in the community had to be withdrawn because they were being attacked in their base. I mean, it makes sense. But then again, what does this say to our security intelligence here in Nigeria? How also, for the soldiers that were mounted in that community to be withdrawn to support those already in the camp, that means that we are short on security personnel, just like the Senate is not asking, which is why the Senate is not asking the federal government to recruit more people. But the question is, are the security operatives being paid enough for more people to want to join in the fight against terrorism here in Nigeria? You can ask people to be patriotic all they want, but the question is, if I should be patriotic and then sacrifice my life for my nation, what is the assurance that my loved ones, the people that I leave behind, will be well catered for? We sometimes forget the well-being and welfare of these people, of these operatives. They are human beings as well. They have loved ones, they have families that they need to cater for. So how can they fully give their all to the cause when their well-being and welfare is not being considered?
Well, Tonya, from what you read, I didn't see where the soldiers are complaining about poor welfare.
It's mixed. Look, from what I read, it says here that the soldiers that were mounted in that community who would have prevented the attack had to be recalled to their base because the base was being attacked. But now the question is that if we had adequate manpower, those people wouldn't have been recalled. They would have been positioned over there. Now we've seen a decline in people enrolling for police and military and what's not, and the complaint is being said that their well-being and welfare is not being taken care of. These security men, these operators, these policemen have been complaining time and time again. So you cannot sit here and tell me that the police force, the military force are not complaining. We've seen cases whereby every junction you go to, we have policemen on those roads. They are taking the least 100 naira, 200 naira from the people. And if you ask them, we're not being paid enough. So please don't sit here and tell me that they are not complaining. They may not be using their words, but their action says a lot.
Well, Tonya, I feel that we shouldn't. use the actions of policemen that have the intention of giving the force a bad.
Sammy, let's not do this. Let's not do this. You will not sit here and tell me I'm not justifying
the illegal activities of some.
I'm not justifying anything. It's not a justification. No, I'm telling you, I'm putting it to you.
Policemen that would catch young boys on the streets and take them to wherever, threaten them and get money from them.
No, Sammy, I'm telling you, I'm not justifying. There's no justification of anything, but you are sitting here and you are trying to tell me that the welfare and well-being of the
NDA a year.
I do not know. Please tell me. Obviously, you do. I don't. You do.
There are thousands.
Okay.
It's a highly competitive program.
Okay. And you want to sit here and tell me
in the Defense Academy in protecting the lives and property of this station, they wouldn't apply for NDA. NDA is highly competitive.
Okay.
In fact, if you're not, they have very strict criteria.
So okay, let me get this right.
If you them up, you're gone.
All right, so let me get this right. So you're saying that wait, what you're trying to tell me now is that the security operatives are not complaining of welfare. They are being well taken care of. Their well-being is being well taken care of.
That's what I'm saying.
No, because that's what you took from my conversation, my question. I asked you, if the welfare and the well-being of the people is not being met, can they give their all? I'm not making it seem anything. I only asked a question. I only asked a question.
That's what you're saying.
No.
That's what you're saying. You're making it seem like the state is marginalizing its own security architecture. They can do better here. They can do better in tune with the realities, the current realities of the country. But you're making it seem like the state doesn't care about.
I'm making it seem.
Yeah, that's what you're
saying. So you're making it also seem then that the people, the operatives, are being well taken care of. I mean, you're justified that their welfare and their well-being is being prioritized by the state. Yes or no? It's a yes or no question.
No, you don't.
No, Sammy, it's a yes or no question. Are the security operatives well-being and welfare paramount, or
what is
it paramount to the state?
It isn't.
Is it?
You're saying it isn't.
I'm asking you, is it? It's a question.
No.
I'm here to ask the questions and you're here to answer.
These are security operatives of the state.
Okay.
It is not logical to say that the state does not care about the welfare.
I'm not saying, I said it's not being prioritized. No, you're trying to quote me out of context.
Have you seen the budget?
Sammy, can you listen and answer the question?
A year.
I'm seeing the budget, but how much of this budget is being allocated or is being given to these people? I had a security expert come in here and tell me that he's a security expert, okay? He told me, without mentioning what, I can pull up the tape for you. He said that in as much as the state, the federal government is allocating X amount of money for uniforms for policemen and what's not, the policemen themselves are complaining that ever since they entered into the force, the only uniform they've had was the one that was given to them. Every time they needed uniform, they had to buy it from their own pockets.
Okay.
You may not be aware, but I have a few family members who are in the military. I have friends, I have people, I know people, and they complain. You may not be aware of it. It may seem that the federal government might be doing their, but whoever is in charge is not doing enough for these people. No, but I just actually, I'm not blaming. I know. I only asked a question. I only asked a question. It's in your position to now say that this and this and this and that, but you're trying to make it seem like I am trying to aggravate the situation. It's wrong.
There's a difference between the states, right? There's a difference between the states, the Nigerian entity as a state, right? And there's a difference between that and people that are in charge of the activities of the security operatives and do what they do to marginalize them. Now you are making it seem like the state itself, which is Nigeria as an entity, does not care about the security operatives.
Okay.
If there are bureaucratic maneuvers that takes from these people, you should say that. You should be clear. Now the analogy you just gave. Obviously, you are referring to the issues that happen in the bureaucracy, the corruption and whatever that goes in there. Do you understand me?
Okay.
From your analogy, I'm using your analogy.
Yes, please use it.
You didn't complain about the state itself. Not giving. You actually confirmed that the decisions for these things were made by the state. That's what you said, right, just now.
Somehow, are you done?
Things were made by the state, but it was, shifted somewhere else. That's what you said. I didn't say that.
What I said was this. I asked, I will take responsibility for my words. I hope you do the same thing. Here's the thing, this is what I said. I said, when the well-being of our security operatives is not being implemented, it's not paramount to the state or to whoever is in charge, how do we expect them to give their all, especially when they're going to leave family, loved ones and family behind? Let me finish. Please let me finish. Now, I will take responsibility for my words and my actions, okay, as an individual. What I say, what I do is on me. If I am responsible, if I have children, I'm responsible for children. And for whatever reason, I'm not going to be there physically for them. But I've put certain individuals in place to ensure that their well-being is being looked after. If I come back home and I realize that my children look malnourished, they do not look well taken care of to the capacity I am trying to provide for them, it's up to me as a parent to ask questions. I am giving X amount to my children to be taken. I'm giving you X amount of money for my children to be well taken care of. I come back home, I'm seeing them in tattered clothes, I'm seeing them looking malnourished. Where is the money going to? So if the federal government, the federal state, the state, whoever is implementing so policies to ensure that our security operatives are being well taken care of, and for some reason they did not have the adequate equipment, they did not have the adequate resources, they did not have the adequate intelligence gathering upon everything I'm providing for them. And I'm seeing my people suffer. It's not up to me then to ask pertinent question if I truly care about the well-being of my people. So, who should the blame lie on at the end of the day?
No,
it's just a question I ask. Do not try and then paint me as the devil. I'm not the devil in this case.
Why would I do that?
Oh, well, that's what you're making it seem.
No, that's what I would do. I want to be clear. I want us to be very, very clear on the issues. Now, before your questions, you were talking about the state's lack of prioritization over the welfare of the security operatives. That's what you said clearly, and that's why I disagree with you. Now, you gave an analogy about your children, someone being responsible for your children, and you coming back and asking questions. And if the answers are not suitable to, if the answers are not palatable to you, what do? You change the person, isn't it? You make changes now. We have changed, the Federal Republic of Nigeria has changed its service chiefs. It's almost unheard of. We've changed the Minister of Defense. It's almost unheard of. What were the reasons that informed that decision? Which president have done that before the completion of his first tenure? Make changes to a sector that is very sensitive as the security sector, to the extent of changing the Minister of Defense and the service chiefs. There were a lot of what are they calling it? Factors that informed that decision. A lot of factors that informed that decision. And so why you might I don't think it's fair to say that the state does not prioritize the welfare of its security operatives. And like I said, I don't think it's fair to say that the state, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, does not prioritize the welfare of its security activities, knowing what we know about the budget that is public. Okay,
let me look. I did not want to misquote. So, typical monthly pay for army personnel by rank, 2025-2026 estimates. Enlisted and lower ranks, private recruits 50,000 to 104,000 per month. Lance corporal, 57,000 to 100,000 naira per month. Sergeant staff, so basically second lieutenant, captain, major, lieutenant colonel, between 300,000 to 850,000. And you and I would agree that.
What's the source?
Ask Google.
See, Tonya,
no,
issues like this.
No, not issues like this. No. Let me just ask you a question. When it comes to fighting the war, do you see the generals on the forefront of the battle? Or is it the foot soldiers that are there? These foot soldiers...
People grow to be generals.
You need to live through the process to get to that point.
You pass through a process to become a general.
But for the unfortunate few, looking at how their security situation is in Nigeria, for unfortunate many, not few, for the unfortunate many that loses their life on the way, before they get to the general position, before they can be given orders from the comfort of their offices, who will have to leave their wives and family behind, who will have to go to the battlefield knowing fully well that the possibility of me coming back home to my loved ones is slim. But for the love of my country, I have to do this. When these people are gone, what happens to their children, their wives?
There are welfare packages for military.
How good is that package? Is the question.
I am quite sure that welfare.
How good is that package?
How good it is?
How good is it?
Is this in my place or your place to say?
I'm asking you a question. How good is it?
I'm a military operative.
Okay.
Listen.
1 minute, so I can move to Mr.
Okay, let me just
Okay.
Let me just conclude. I'm not saying that the welfare of the security operatives should be prioritized. Like I said, the state prioritizes it, right? The states, as in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, prioritizes it. However, like you rightly said, with the example you gave, there are bureaucrats, there are bottlenecks within the system, that prevents the people at the grassroots level or the foot soldiers from getting what they deserve. Have you seen how rich some top high-ranking military officials are? The other day in Abuja, we saw where Navy personnel were stationed at a property, safeguarding the property of an admiral. Is that should sound banal to the ear? How can you tell me that a naval officers are safeguarding a property of an admiral? It doesn't even make sense.
A former
Or present, it doesn't make sense. It's even worse that he's a former. It's 10 times worse that he's a former. It doesn't make sense with the security challenges we have in this nature. It doesn't make sense. That goes to show you the issue they wrote in the military. That goes to show the issues in the military. So we
are on the same page then?
No, you are blaming the state. I'm blaming the people in the system.
I'm blaming oversight.
I am saying that
I'm blaming oversight.
That are trusted with the responsibility of managing the system. I'm mismanaging the system and not the state itself.
But the state is doing nothing about it.
I just give an example. The change of service chiefs, is that doing nothing?
Okay.
They should disband the military.
All right.
What they will do is that they will change the people at the topmost top, the people that relate to the president directly, that he feels that he won't accountable. Those are the people who change, and he has done that, and he's open for his work. Now those people are saddled with the responsibility of fixing the rot in the system. That's how it is a chain of command. The president, as a ground commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has taken a decision, right, and he has made changes, owing to the fact that he's not satisfied with the job so far. The people he has brought in are supposed to take the mandate and the body language of the president and use it to fix the system. That's what the president cannot himself go there and fix the system.
Noted.
He has to delegate power, he has to delegate authority, he has to saddle responsibility to people, and he has done that.
Okay.
And I'm quite confident that this move will bear positive fruits as soon as possible.
Okay.
So that's it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Abavu, finally, so we can move on to the next topic. 10 hours before the military got to the community where this atrocity was happening. And the reason why these bandits were able to carry out what they did was because the military at that point in time, attention was diverted. There was an issue in their camp, so they had to move the personnel that were positioned in that community to go and support those in the camp to see what's happening over there. My question is this: if we had adequate manpower, if we had adequate personnel, there was no need for those that were stationed in that community. And I'm sure they were stationed there because they knew the possibility of that community being attacked, had to be moved to the camp. If we had adequate personnel, would this issue have happened? And why don't we have enough personnel in the army?
Okay, let me start by disagreeing with my colleague here, because from my own point of view and my own research, first you must know that I'm a son of a police officer. Yes, until my dad retires, he was a DPO in Eleme, Onne to be precise. So I grew up in the barracks. It is on that basis and speaking with facts that I would disagree with my colleague here. There is no difference between the state and the system. There is no difference between the state and the system. If the system is failing, then the state has failed. Go and make more research. For example, the authorities of this place comes with the policy of saying, once it is a minute after 8, you are late and your job has been terminated. He doesn't need to emphasize on it. If he's serious, he doesn't need to play politics with it. He doesn't need to play gamble with it. He doesn't need to say, Tonya is my own family member. If I drop her now, her mother will complain. If it was my own child, will I have sacked her? John, I don't know where he comes from, so he can go. Let me pardon Tonya. If he plays gamble with it, then his business will fall. His business will collapse. But once he said, if you are a minute after 8, you are late, go back to your house and your appointment here has been terminated. My dear, if you see it, if you witness him doing it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of your colleagues, you won't repeat the same thing. The only reason why it will take the military 10 hours to fall back to a community that is under attack is nothing more than politics. These are delayed tactics. These are just delayed tactics. And that is why I say you cannot blame the system without blaming the state. If you think, because they know more than us, I believe that these leaders are intelligent. They went through schools. They went through all kind of training. If you know that we are lacking manpower, and manpower is the reason why we are confronted with this kind of challenges, then why not employ more persons? It has been overemphasized. If you think our major problem in Nigeria as we speak today is security, then limit so many other things and let's confront security, fire for fire. The IG has once said after meeting with Mr. President, saying all police officers guiding politicians and what have you should be withdrawn and be replaced with civil defense so that they can possibly face their duties. My dear, in all honesty, are you saying you are not still seeing police officers guiding politicians, following politicians all about? No, in all honesty, are you saying, because I don't want to mention names, even when I'm forced to mention names, I see those who even accompany a main minister with a rider. I see here. They will come from Abuja with bikes. And you see nothing less than 200 police officers accompanying just one man, who is our own servant, who is serving us. The police who are supposed to join him in serving us is not serving only him, more than 200. I can give you picture evidence. And who is saddled with the responsibility of sacking them? Say, oh, you have gone against my orders. Who is the chairman of the state as a whole, as Nigeria as a state? Who is our leader now? It's not Mr. President. And the ball ends in his court. Yes, you have deviated from my instructions. You are sacked automatically, including the minister who allowed the police officers to guide him. You are sacked. That's why I say you cannot blame the system without this. If there is adequate policies, a standard rule. See, in America, it is not about the president coming to issue orders. So there are written and unwritten orders. It's there, you know it. Once you fall short of this law, you go in for it. You don't need John or Peter to come and begin to hammer you before you know that you have fallen short. See, all these people who are supposed to be here, the military, who are supposed to be here at a particular point and you are not here, you are responsible for this attack, all of you are off. You are off the system. Whatever be your reasons are too insignificant. If you are poorly paid, go home. I mean, I cannot continue to work for a people or a place or a company who pays me 50 naira instead of 500 naira. I will go home and look for another job. So poorly paid, not poorly paid, is just an excuse we have had over time. You are a police officer, they are paying you 5,000 naira. They are paying you 10,000 naira and you are not comfortable with it. Instead of committing crime and criminality, because extorting the people is crime, take a bar and go. Since you refuse to take a bar and you are caught, the president should fire you. Starting from the IG. Just along the east-west road, sometimes you see IG monitoring, the police officer will run. Immediately the IG monitoring goes off, they come back to the road. I experienced this a few days ago. I even saw them arresting one. I have said it before. When we went for one briefing, I told the commissioner of police, disguise yourself. Disguise yourself. Come to the road and see what is happening. See for yourself. Don't believe on the information we are giving you because we are telling you lies. That's the way it will sound in your ears. Disguise yourself and travel this route and see what your men are doing on the road. Some are even guiding compounds. Some are guiding dogs. Police officers have been employed to guide dogs. If you cannot fire them, you cannot dismiss them, then the president sees it. I mounted you here to superintend over these people. These people are falling short. It means you are falling short. Go! You as a president, if you also know that you cannot survive it, you are being overwhelmed, leave us. Even if it takes us to get American or to get the president of Ghana to be the president of Ghana and the same time president of Nigeria, just for us, for our lives and property to be protected, let us get it. We are paying for it. We are paying for it.
All right.
I mean, a bus driver cannot have an accident and you are blaming only the conductor. Why? The bus driver is there. You are beating the conductor. The bus driver is there. The president of Nigeria is the one driving us. If we are crashing the way we are crashing now, let us channel the blame to him. He's the state. In this context, he's the state.
Okay.
So, like my brother would say, let me just run. Like my brother would say, the admission into the military is a very highly competitive one. And before you are going for it, you should be able to know that this is the amount being paid. If you think it's below your standard, madam, oga, don't apply. If you also think you cannot face the challenges there, auntie, sister, please rest. You don't go, see, a lot of politics is being played. And Mr. President knows it. Changing those persons, my brother said he's changing, it's just for politics and nothing more. Changing those people he's changing, it's just for politics. Even the minister who went to that property, look at the numbers of security. DSS is there with him, army is there with him, police is there with him. Is there any difference between the buyer and the buyee? The naval officer who was retired had the property and Navy is guiding it. Then the minister who was supposed to be in his office doing paperwork is being accompanied with both army, both police, both DSS. Go back to that video. Where are we going to? Then the common man like me and you who is supposed to be protected is not, we are left to our fate. How did we get here, Tonya?
A very good question. A very good question.
Sorry, just give me 30 seconds more. You see, no, he made silent points that I think I should just, respond to quickly.
Okay, now, 30
seconds. First of all, the analogy you gave about...
Are you falling back to me again?
No, I'm not falling back to you. I'm saying I'm responding to him.
Okay.
He gave an analogy about if you come a minute after 8 and all that, if the person is serious, the person will fire you. Now, these people that are working for you play critical roles in administrating, in managing your system. If you keep firing anybody, who will be left to manage the system?
You fire yourself. You fire yourself.
No, you shouldn't do that. They should look for penalties while still on the job. And also, he gave a reference of the president cannot work in isolation. He gives orders, but he depends on people to carry out those orders. Right? He depends on people to carry out those orders to the best of their ability. And when he sees that they're not functioning as well as they should, he removes them. You understand? Which he has done. You're talking about him. He should sack people that are not performing. And then he changed the service chiefs, and you're saying it's for politics. It doesn't make sense. You also spoke about the whole incident at Abuja and all that. I don't think you're privy to the entire information. The minister himself said that before he got to that property, that there had been discussions. And he saw that there was resistance.
He had to go by himself.
But you are the one advocating that the person in charge should go by himself, should be hands-on. Is that what you're advocating for?
I did not say so. I said, see, just get me. If the system is properly put in place, you don't need to go by yourself.
That is what you are saying now. Did the system just spoil now, or the system has been bad over the years?
And Mr. President, during his campaign, he told us within 1 year, he's going to fix it. He really
Gentlemen,
so. I can punish you with that papers. He said he has been the Jagaban of Lagos. He fixed Lagos. And I am asked in AIT.
Gentlemen, come on.
Nigeria. You go to Nigeria, the cement is we have the
gentlemen.
He fixed it.
I think we're going for a short commercial break.
All we want is fix.
We're going for a short commercial break. It's getting hot in the studio. Let's go for a short commercial break to give time for the gentlemen to simmer down, and then we'll return and get back into the rest of the stories. Welcome back. It's still Atlantic Television Network Blowout. It got a bit heated in the studio. I had to give the gentlemen some time to simmer down. Gentlemen, are we ready for the next story?
Of course.
Sami?
Let's go.
Okay. Lagos-based auto dealer Quadri Balogun has alleged that some policemen in the Ikorodu area of the state pointed guns at him and a friend and threatened to shoot them before extorting 100,000 naira. Balogun recounted the incident in a telephone interview with our correspondent on Wednesday. According to him, the officers who were riding in a minibus intercepted his vehicle in the Itamaga area of Ikorodu while he was driving with a friend. He said he presented his vehicle documents when stopped, but the officers allegedly refused to inspect them and instead ordered both occupants out of the car. Sami, let me start with you. You had said earlier on during one of your sessions, in a response to what I had said, that there's no justification for how our police officers behave. The extortion, threatening lives and properties of the people they were employed to safeguard. You're right, there's no justification to it. But in a situation where the people we have entrusted our lives and properties to are the ones threatening us, what can be done about it? Because obviously the people can't do anything. They are vulnerable to the situation. They cannot trust in the police officers because, brotherhood, protecting each other and what's not. Now, the people we have to now rely on are the people we elected into offices, expecting them to put policies in place to ensure that our lives and properties are protected. So in your experience, in your wisdom, what can be done about a situation such as this?
Well, first of all, the whole extortion and illogical activities of policemen is something that has, bothered me for a while now. And I think that there should be a hands-on approach in dealing with these issues. There's no justification for bad behavior. There's no justification for extortion. There's no justification for being on the road and taking money from commercial drivers. Like my brother said, before you apply for the job, you should have, the pays of these people are public. So before you apply for the job, you should know that this is the pay. If it's not okay with you, you should have left it and go and learn a skill, carpentry, plumbing, or automobile repair or something. But you decided to stay there. So you shouldn't give or tell us the accuse of underfunding and whatnot. You should be able to stick to your duties and protect the lives and property of the citizens, not trying to extort them by other means. It's not happening in Lagos State, I'm surprised. It's quite frequent here in River State. In fact, just was it yesterday night? I was heading to Pepperoni area to get something, and I saw, if you see the amount of policemen I saw at the junction, with there was heavy presence of already stopping motors and all that, looking for young boys to intimidate and collect money from. So it's a very, very terrible system, and I think that the best approach is for the citizens to be more courageous. Me, I'm usually very, very careful. If I see a situation like that, I'll just turn on my camera and I'll just hold it. So if it gets to that point, I'll just start recording. So if anything happens to me, whether maybe they have their way with me and whatnot, the people will be persecuted and will be used as an example. So I think that I'm not blaming the citizens. Please, I'm not doing that. I'm advising. I'm not blaming. I think that we should be more bold and courageous. But
don't you think that being bold and courageous could also lead to the loss of life? In this instance, if the people had been bold and insisted that no, it's against the policies, it's against the laws for you as a police officer to, extort from me.
But if you look at the approach that I used, I said turning on your camera.
And sometimes, let me tell you a situation that happened to me also. I was on my way home, right? The police officers, they were in 1 to 3 lanes, right? So we had a bus driver this way. He had stopped his vehicle, and then he was trying to let his passenger get off. The police van was on the other side, and I was on the middle lane. So I was on my phone. I was at the back seat of my vehicle, so I was on the phone, and then the abrupt stop. My forehead hit the back of the driver's seat and what's not. what happened. The police on the third lane had, without warning, maneuvered onto the other lane. So my driver had to like stop immediately, like abruptly, with no warnings. What happened? They said they saw the bus driver was illegally parked. And so 2 wrongs make a right. So they had stopped him, like no, maneuvered in front of the bus, pulled him out, started hitting, like no question, and started beating him. So on my part as a journalist, I brought up my phone discreetly, trying to record what's going on, to see what's happening, because you didn't ask questions, you didn't even talk to them, you didn't even, there was no conversation, just like that, started beating him. So one of the police officers, without me knowing, saw me and also forcefully collected my phone from me. It became like a struggle. I'm like, I'm not giving you my phone, like you have no right to collect my phone from me, it's my phone, it's my personal property. He said it's against the law, that there is a law in place that is against the law for me to record him, a police, that look, I don't want to go into it. But they basically took my phone, and when they found out I was a journalist, they took me to their, to the police, I don't want to mention the police, took me to their police station. But thankfully, the DPO came in, and then we resolved the issue, like, oh, okay, blah, blah, there's a law that says that we are not allowed to video them, blah, blah. I was like, I'm not even aware of this law.
There's no law.
Story.
The IG has addressed Nigerians.
Exactly.
He has explained that there is no law.
Yes, but according to him, that there is a law in place, so please, I should delete the video.
I don't even know the session.
Exactly. Do you understand? So I was like, okay, which law states, which law does this? I was going like, okay, show me where this law is. But I'm telling you, this, at least I know my rights. I could stand boldly, and I was protected with the fact that, with the knowledge that I'm a journalist, and also me being a lady, obvious from whatever. Sometimes your appearance, who you are, can protect you. But what about an individual that did not, or is not privy, or does not have the opportunity that I had? What would have happened to them? Like I said, they did not say anything to the driver. They just went at him, started beating him. What's going on? I was there. I was arguing with these police officers for 30 minutes. I was like, you have to give me. They said I should follow them. I was like, me sitting here. I'm not sitting in your van. I'm not going to do that. I was able to stand on my right. I was alone. In the busy road, when the people around now realized that, oh, as young ladies, she could stand on her rights and demanded, like, okay, they now had the voice to like, oh, you're not supposed to do that. They even give me signals, like, they keep doing this, they keep doing this, like, somebody should, imagine. So sometimes it's easy for us to say this, but it's not everybody that has the boldness, to do that. So in such incidents, what can be done to protect lives and properties?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm told on you by the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I shouldn't be the one to respond.
But but in that instant, I had the opportunity to do that. What if you did not have the opportunity to go live? There's not enough time for you to go live. There's not enough time for you to record. There's nobody around. In their case, what can the people do?
See, Tony, I'm giving you a practical example. I'm not telling you that I'm not one for long speeches. I'm not telling you that okay, we should do this. I'm telling you what the practical thing that would work, and that is the power of social media. These people have seen the impact of social media. They're very careful now. In fact, I think they found out recently that you can wear glasses that can video, and if they see you wearing glasses, they're very careful about it.
They'll tell you to take it off sometimes.
They're very, very, very careful about the glasses thing. You understand me? So if that is what they are scared of, then we should use it to our advantage. I mean, after all, if their claims on you are not porous, or if it is not illegal, then they shouldn't have a problem in being on social media, should they? So that's what if I see them, like yesterday, when I saw them from a distance, my dear, I was on Facebook. I was just one click away from Facebook Live. No, I'm serious. I was just one click away from Facebook Live. And if they had stopped where I was and started acting funny, I would have done that. In fact, if I see that, I don't smile. I don't even try to, because I notice that when they see you smiling and fidgeting and all that, I don't even do that. I'm very, very serious and straight to the point. So what I think we should do is that we should apply practical approach to be able to, let them know that we have the capacity to expose them. And they've seen what happens to those of them that are exposed. So they're even careful. They're more scared of you than you are of them. No, truth be told. Because they rely on intimidation over something that is not legal. The law is on your side. If you're bold enough to take advantage of it. So if you're bold enough, trust me, they'll just leave you alone.
Okay.
It's not what's the word? And I think that's why the IG, insisted and clarified Nigerians that you can take videos. I think that's why the IG said it himself, that you can take videos. And they don't have the right to take your phone. You know, I think that was his way of, you know, telling Nigerians that you can hold them accountable through this medium. If maybe passing through bureaucratic process will take a while, you can use this shortcut medium and hold them accountable. And the institution of the police force, I'm talking about the institution, not the officer, the institution will respond to it. And I think I've seen cases where some of these police officers were exposed,
yeah,
they were demoted, and they were relieved from the police force.
Yeah.
So that means that the institution, being the police force, can actually act on this intelligence if provided. The way to provide this intelligence is for Nigerians to be bold enough, you know, to be able to do this when the need arises. That's just my take on this issue.
Okay. Mr. Abdul, your take on this issue. How do people preserve their lives in situations, unfortunate situations such as this?
I will continue to say it, that we are the ones paying these persons. These police officers, we are the ones paying them. You see, I can't imagine it that I have employed you to do certain job for me, and at the same time you are expecting me to do the same job for you that I have employed. The advice my brother gave is a welcome development, but to an extent. If Nigeria was a safe country, are we supposed to even bring out our phones to video police officers who are committing crimes? I mean, what happened to the CCTV cameras? Can't we mount them virtually in every junction? Look at how much that is being used in playing politics. Can't it be used to mount a CCTV camera in almost every junction? I mean, civilized countries are doing that. There are electronic gadgets you will just mount, and it will record for itself. Then, Abakari, during the case of Abakari, I don't know if you have heard about Abakari. In his office, why he was so popular and why he was so prominent in the police force was that in his office, that is department, you have all kind of cameras that at the mention of a crime happened here, he will just place a camera and dictate everything that happened. Why can't that kind of cameras be mounted in almost every junction, in almost every state? That so that we the people, the common Nigerian who will not be found, will not be seen in a situation where we will bring our phone, and a policeman who I know don't have a constitution, he doesn't have a constitution, will not tell you there is a law that says, without quoting it. I mean, where are we going to serve? Where are we going from here? And like I told you in one of the briefing I had in Moscow Road with the Commissioner of Police, I said, Oga, see, don't believe me, go to Moscow Road. There are a lot of police officers, thousands of them, who are not being posted to anywhere. They are there, don't believe me. As a journalist, go and make your research. They are there in Moscow Road, in the Commissioner of Police office. They are just there. They stroll to civic center, they will come back around the government, they are just there. Some are chatting with Aboki men who are selling bitter colas and what. They are just there, looking at people who came for training. Okay, why not disguise these people? Put them in a patrol, a monitoring team. They should be running around and center. You know, they will be able to see some of their colleagues who are carrying out this crime and judge them accordingly. It is not our responsibilities. A lot of Nigerians has died. Some of us have lost our life by way of bringing out a phone to video a police officer. I mean, is it the first time you are hearing it? A police officer will tell you, I will shoot you here, nothing will happen. I will shoot you here, nothing, and the man will shoot, nothing will happen. In fact, a recent case has it that a police officer shot his fellow police officer. I think that was around GRA, but they said the police officer was originally posted to Eleme, but they went on special whatever. A colleague shot his fellow colleague. I mean, if this thing can happen to themselves, who are we? We don't need to. We pay them to safeguard us. I don't know whether we don't understand this logic. We paid them to safeguard us, and now we are not turning around to safeguard ourselves. While they are busy collecting our money, going to beer palace, still sees us on the road, harass your own boss, we who are paying you, you are harassing us. If we didn't give you 100,000, you kill us too. 100,000 is even too big. Some cases is 10,000, 5,000. Like the one that happened in Igbo Island was just 3,000. And the man opened fire. Kill somebody. The life of ordinary Nigeria don't matter to them at all. And I keep saying it, no matter how pain it will be, that the decision to take still lies within the authorities. In this case, that of the Commissioner of Police. You have no gadget, you don't put your men on patrol, nothing, and you blame who? You blame me, or you blame the system. Then the governor don't also have any committee or whatsoever to checkmate the system. The president don't also have. Hearing that this man, this happened here, this because of politics, you have one former retired whatever in another state. You now sack this one and bring him in, and people will shout, "Oh yeah, he has sacked the Minister of Defense. He has sacked this, and he has brought another person." So since you brought that person, what is the change? Are people not still dying? I said even if it will require us to employ president from Ghana or South Africa or anywhere to man Nigeria, for them to preserve our lives and property, let us do. We are tired in Nigerian state. Every year we keep electing. During the campaign, they will tell us stories upon stories, and how they are experienced, how they did this, how they did not do that. Put them into office. In fact, 8 years will go. Nothing to show for it.
All right. And
we cannot continue to do a particular thing all the time and expect a different result. We cannot. They are being paid heavily. If you cannot do the job, take a bar. My brother will ask, can they do it in 1 year? If you know you cannot do it, okay, leave. The other person is looking for this job. And it goes both in police, both in army, both in whatever. A police will tell you, do you know how much are they paying us? So a plate cannot do you, but extra will do you. The salary they are paying you will not be enough, but 100 naira on the road will be enough for you. It's unfortunate.
It's quite unfortunate. Let's move on to the next story. Headquarters has given clarification on the nature of Nigeria's security cooperation with the United States. This clarification comes after public speculation over the alleged presence of the U.S. troops in the country. In a statement by the Director of Defense Information, Major General Samaila Uba, on Thursday in Abuja, the military said the Nigerian-U.S. partnership was long-standing. It added that the collaboration structured and focused on capacity building, professional military education, intelligence sharing, logistics reports, support, and strategic dialogue. According to the defense spokesman, all engagements under the partnership were conducted with full respect for Nigerian sovereignty and strictly in line with existing bilateral frameworks. Samuel, why are you laughing? Or why are you smiling? I mean, this is good development, is it not? Considering, I mean, people have been speculating that the previous attack in Sokoto State by the U.S. government was without the acknowledgement or permission of the Nigerian state.
Were there speculations?
Yeah, I mean, there were speculations like that.
Well, sorry to interrupt you, but when Trump gave his announcements, the U.S. Africa gave a report and thanked the Nigerian government for their cooperation.
But did you not see this?
The Secretary of War, Peter Hegseth, in his statement when he issued his tweets, also thanked the Nigerian government for their cooperation and their compliance in ensuring that they deal with the scourge of, insecurity issues. So, if these people who are direct missionaries of the President of the United States of America, can make a statement thanking the Nigerian government for their support, I don't think there's any question about whether or not the Nigerian government was complicit in the attack on terrorism. It was obvious that the Nigerian government was fully involved. So I don't think, the Secretary of War, he's in charge of the directorate as regards security in America, isn't he? He was part and parcel of the process that led to the attack on the terrorists on the 25th. So if he is thanking the Nigerian government for their support, will he do it without Trump's knowledge? Will he say something contrary to the President of the United States? So it's obvious that Nigerian government was part and parcel of the attack. So I don't think there's any room for speculation owing to the experience before us.
Samuel, if you had allowed me finish with my question, you would have known that.
You made a statement.
You didn't finish. You didn't let me finish with my statement.
Sorry,
Why are you running?
finish.
Senator Abdul Ningi raised the concern during chambers that they were not given oversight, that according to him, they had constitutional right to know beforehand about the attack, before it was carried out. They were supposed to also give, okay, go ahead, don't go. It was not even discussed with them. In as much as maybe the Nigerian government, maybe the presidency or a few people might be privy to this, they felt that they were sidelined in the decision making. I mean, they have every right to feel the way they felt. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that there were speculations. To them, they had no idea. So it could be possible that since the president did not, or the presidency did not inform them, nobody informed them about the airstrike. It was done without Nigerians' knowledge. You can't fault them for thinking that way. Now, like I said, back to my question. There were speculation that the previous airstrike was conducted without Nigerians' knowledge or permission. Now, we've seen a situation where the US and Nigeria is formally aligning to ensure that the lives and properties of the people of Nigeria is protected. I like the fact that they said they're going to share in military training, intelligence, and what's not. And these are some of the capacities we lack in our army. Do you think it's a good development?
Well, I said the other time, I said anything to protect the lives and properties of Nigerian citizens is a welcome development, by me. And let me deviate briefly to your conversations about, the request by a senator. You see, the issue of terrorism and insecurity in Nigeria is something that is very, very sensitive. And if the presidency, in its wisdom, thought it wise to, go ahead and ask questions later, I think they're justified, provided it leads to the stoppage of the attacks. You understand me? Provided this is the stoppage of the attacks, it's okay. And I'm surprised that the senator will be complaining about not being informed, of something that would directly benefit the people of Nigeria. I don't think, I don't know, but to me it makes no sense that, he will say certain things, without considering the positive impact it has had on the Nigerian people. I mean, terrorists were killed. He should be jubilating.
Well, in this instance, I think his apprehension is justified, considering that the U.S. has in previous past conducted such strikes without the permission of the nation, of the states. Let's say, not in Nigeria, but like with other nations. I mean, let's take for example the Venezuela's president that was captured from his home. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that you cannot overlook some of the actions of the U.S. They have taken it into their power, into their hands, to do certain things against the will of other nations because they feel they have the power. So in this instance where he felt that, okay, we were not informed, we had no idea. Even up until now that I'm raising this concern, nobody has even, we only saw it on the paper, in the news, that Nigeria was informed. But to my knowledge, as a senator, I'm supposed to have knowledge. Even if it was done without my knowledge, after it was done, I'm supposed to be privy to some information that, oh, sorry, we did not inform you guys, due to the nature of the situation, or how sensitive the situation was. But as of now, we were actually... So one would think that maybe the government of Nigeria is just trying to cover...
Period to the attack, sorry, on 25th. Period to the 25th incident.
Yes.
There had been diplomatic discussions between Nigeria and the United States.
Yes, but there was no permission. Yes, but there was no permission.
To the United States.
Yes.
And United
trying to
come into Nigeria.
Yes, to quell the knowledge that the attacks happening here in Nigeria is Christian persecution.
But hold on.
Let me finish.
A memo. I saw it in my eyes. The NSA from Ribadu, the National Security Agency, released a memo stating that Nigeria has entered into a partnership with the United States of America to combat insecurity before that incident. So if a statement like that has been released, what other notification do anyone need to know that Nigeria and America are working together? Okay, just like now, the Minister of the Defense Headquarters has released a statement. If tomorrow we wake up and we hear that social terrorists have been identified and have been taken out, should we not start saying that we're not informed? I mean, it doesn't make sense. The security agency has said that they gave Nigerians proper information. You can check it out. It happened before the 25th. You can check it out. That Nigeria has entered into a partnership with the United States of America that is borders on security, right? So if they have said that, have they not informed the Nigerian people? Do we need details? We don't need details, like my brother would say. Do we need details? We don't need details. We don't need excuses. What we need is results. And if they have been able to take proactive measures to ensure that we get results, I don't see what the problem is.
Samuel, I'm not the problem here. I'm only trying to, my job is to bring out the information and then we debate on it.
I am doing a good job.
Exactly, but my question, so please, what I'm just trying to say is that there were speculations, and that came from a senator, okay, and he raised his concern during chambers, during this Senate session, that we were not informed. Even the Senate president also said, or more or less confirmed, that they were also not informed. Whether you say, okay, whether or not there was a public record of a partnership between Nigeria and the US, what they did not know was that, okay, yes, there is a partnership, maybe intelligence gathering, maybe support, do you understand? But not you carrying out an airstrike in my home country without my knowledge.
Yes, exactly. I'm not supposed to be so open.
Yes, exactly.
It's
supposed to be confidential.
It's a matter of national security.
Sammy, if you allow me to finish my train of thoughts, you will understand where my question is coming from. What I'm going to ask here is, what I'm trying to ask here is this. Could this be because the federal government, in its wisdom, feels that we have some people in government, in power, that are working with these terrorists? And so for the sake of the protection and well-being of the Nigerian people, such information, unfortunately, should be even kept away from these individuals, including the Senate. So when such an important decision is being made, and then our Senate, our National Assembly, is not being included, is not being informed, what does that say to the transparency? What does that say to our political leaders, our leaders, and then, our political leaders when it comes to the fight against terrorism? Are they competent? Is that why they are being sidelined? I mean, so many questions. So many questions. So if you had allowed me finished, you would have known where I'm going to with my train of thoughts. Thank you. Comrade, please go ahead.
I watched that discussions in the chambers. I watched it myself.
Okay.
Fortunately for me, I was in the house. I tuned in and I saw that drama. I'm being careful. If not, I would have described the Senate for you.
Please don't.
Because
let's stick to.
Their shame left them to catch my own dog. Their shame left them to catch my own dog. When I looked around my passage, my dog was already ashamed of the Nigerian Senate, bearing the burden of shame for them. Because something you were unable to achieve over the years, because in as much as I know, some of them has returned for 12 years, 8 years, even 20 years. They have been in the Senate. And this problem has been there. The problem of insecurity has been there. It's a public knowledge. You have discussed about it, raised budget about it, call the president, call the minister, summon them into a meeting before you as senators about it, yet you are unable to achieve anything. American came in and helped you out. And you now begin to call them, question them. Why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you inform us? Why did you write to us? This, that. I watched it. In fact, it was SP, Senator Kpabio, that raised that issue. Before that day, that woman started making that complaint. He was the one that raised that alarm. But surprisingly, that day, he now told the woman, I think...
It was Ningi and Senator Ningi, yeah.
Now said, don't worry, we'll brief you at session. Maybe while he was raising that alarm previously, the president called him to order. And so while the colleagues were also doing the same, he now said, don't worry. That matter is too painful. It's a bad one, but don't worry, we'll brief you. at the closed session, I was, like I told you, my dog was ashamed. You see, I have said it in all platforms that even if what will save us now is hiring a president from Togo or any other country, even if it's a chairman from Togo or a councillor from Togo or anywhere to come and govern Nigeria, for us to be safe, our properties to be safe, we need it. We don't need, the surgery may be painful to us, but all we want is the result. We need it. We don't need to be asking. If they have gotten the information, believe me, the Americans wouldn't have achieved what they achieved. You can imagine when they strike. That's to tell you a country that knows the business, that knows how to fight insecurity. While you and I was planning for 25th, had to slaughter our fowl, had to cook our rice, the Americans striked. Because if they did not, those bandits would have also attacked on 25th. And while they were trying to balance, the Americans striked again. And they are all over. They have come to stay. Me, if I have little to give them, if I see them, those American soldiers, and I can of beans, I will give them to encourage them. It's a welcome development. These are the things we need. Forget, don't see. Thank God that my brother now understood where I was coming from. We don't need the explanations. We don't need the you are writing, you are sacking, you are not writing, you are not sacking, you are redeploying, you are not redeploying. We don't need it. It's not our business. We have paid you for the job, and all we want is for the job to be done.
Okay.
It's how you do it. It's not my business.
All right.
See how American came in to help us, and the senator is saying, section this, that, they would have informed us. They would have told us so that you inform the bandits. Because whether you like it or not, they are politically related.
Okay.
All of them. These bandits couldn't have been flourishing the way they are doing without the help of these politicians and their resources. You can imagine the kind of ammunition they are carrying. Even the bandit is looking malnourished, but carrying ammunition worth of 7 million, 10 million. Look at the bikes. Look at the army uniforms. Who is buying that for them? It's our politicians. And our politician wants the American to inform you so that you inform, oh boy, I'm not gonna move on. I've asked you, how did we get here?
Good question. We'll leave that to the viewers to answer. Thank you so much, comrade.
Thank you, my sister.
This is where we wrap it up on this episode of Blowout. Thank you very much, Samuel.
Thank you, Tony.
For making this a very interesting discourse. Comrade, thank you very much for balancing the equation.
Thank you, Tony.
All right. We're open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok at Atlantic TV Network 1, and on X at Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Remember, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Open conversation comes up shortly. Don't go away. Asabel.